What makes a gay movie truly unforgettable? The story, the passion, or the heat it leaves behind? Today, we're counting down the top 20 hottest gay movies you can stream in 2025. Let's dive straight in. The Prince.
Recuento.
1, 2, 3,
4,
5.
Jaime, a young man in 1970s Chile, is sentenced to prison after a violent crime. Inside, he meets the Stallion, an older inmate who rules through power and intimidation. At first, their relationship is a brutal exchange of protection and control, but it grows into something dangerously intimate. Jaime learns how desire and survival intertwine behind bars, where every touch is both comfort and currency. As the prison hierarchy shifts, Jaime discovers he can wield his beauty like a weapon, but every gain comes with a cost. The more he rises, the more he risks falling into the same cycle of violence that landed him there. By the time the final betrayal arrives, Jaime faces a choice: remain someone's possession or seize his freedom by force. In this world, passion and brutality walk hand in hand, and only one will decide his fate. Sequin in a blue room.
How do you want to do this? Take off your clothes.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
I could get this place again.
I don't want to see people twice.
Sequin is a teenage boy looking for excitement through secret meetings arranged online. His life moves in quick moments and brief connections until he discovers the mysterious Blue Room, an underground party where no one shares their name or face. There, he meets a stranger who leaves a lasting impression, and Sequin can't stop thinking about him. As he tries to find this man again, he drifts into a world that feels darker and more risky, unaware that someone else is watching him with growing jealousy. What began as simple curiosity turns into a dangerous chase. When everything finally comes to a head, Sequin learns the hard truth: that chasing passion without care can come at a heavy cost. The Blue Room doesn't give answers or comfort. It only shows that danger often hides closer than we realize. The Blonde One.
No sé, con el tiempo ir buscándole la vuelta.
Gabriel moves in with his co-worker Juan, a quiet yet magnetic man with striking blonde hair. Their days are filled with routine, sharing meals, talking casually, and living like roommates. But underneath grows a tension neither can ignore. One night, the unspoken becomes undeniable, and their friendship turns into a secret, fiery romance. Their intimacy thrives behind closed doors, but outside, Juan retreats into silence, unwilling to risk exposure. Gabriel, caught between love and invisibility, begins to see the cracks in their hidden world. As Juan leans back into the safety of conformity, Gabriel is left confronting the painful truth. Was their passion ever meant to last, or was he only an experiment Juan never dared admit? When the affair collapses, the silence between them screams louder than any declaration of love. Some bonds burn brightly, only to vanish without warning. Querelle.
Sur le vengeur qui accoste, Querelle. Il n'est pas matelot. Il est tous les matelots du monde.
Querelle, a strikingly handsome sailor, arrives in a French port town filled with crime, lust, and betrayal. At a brothel run by Lysiane and her ruthless husband, Querelle becomes the center of desire for everyone he encounters. But Querelle's beauty is his weapon. He seduces, manipulates, and betrays with each move, always pushing boundaries further. His relationships blur into games of power where intimacy becomes indistinguishable from treachery. Even as others fall under his spell, Querelle spirals deeper into danger, his allure pulling him toward destruction. Each kiss hides deception, each embrace masks betrayal, until love itself feels like a fatal trap. By the end, Querelle stands alone in the chaos he created, his beauty both his crown and his curse. The film leaves one haunting truth: in a world of desire without rules, even passion becomes poison. Knife plus heart.
Puissant.
In 1970s Paris, Anne, a gay porn filmmaker, is desperate to win back her estranged lover, Lois. She throws herself into a new production, crafting bizarre, erotic films with her eccentric cast. But when her actors start turning up murdered by a masked killer wielding a switchblade, Anne's art collides with horror. Each killing eerily mirrors the films she creates, blurring the line between fantasy and nightmare. Obsessed with finding the truth, Anne plunges deeper into danger, all while clinging to the hope of rekindling her lost love. But as the bodies pile up, it becomes clear that desire itself can kill. In the final shocking revelation, Anne realizes the murderer isn't just targeting her cast, it's targeting her heart. In Knife Plus Heart, passion becomes performance, and performance turns into blood. The more she films, the closer death comes, until the final cut is real. Beach Rats.
Come on, you're gonna make me say it.
Say it.
Frankie drifts through his Brooklyn neighborhood, killing time with his friends, getting high, and putting on the mask of a tough, straight kid. But when the nights get quiet, he sneaks onto chat rooms and cruising sites, arranging secret meetings with older men. His double life grows more complicated when he starts dating a girl who believes she knows him, even as he keeps slipping into the shadows of the boardwalk in search of something he can't admit. Frankie's friends grow suspicious, his girlfriend pushes for answers, and his risks get more reckless with each passing night. One encounter too many leaves him standing at the edge of violence and self-destruction. In the final moments, he's consumed not by who he loves, but by the fear of being exposed. Desire promises freedom, but for Frankie, it becomes a prison. By the way, if you're enjoying these picks and want to see more content like this, consider supporting our channel by becoming a member. You'll get exclusive early access to videos, a welcoming community of film enthusiasts, and a range of additional perks. Esteros.
Quedó buena, ¿no?
Matthias and Geronimo were childhood friends whose innocent bond once hinted at something deeper. Years later, they reunite by chance during a summer in Argentina, and old feelings reignite instantly. Their time together becomes filled with laughter, quiet touches, and rediscovered passion that feels as natural as breathing. But reality waits just outside their sunlit moments. Matthias struggles with family expectations and societal pressure, while Geronimo only wants to live honestly. Each kiss brings them closer, yet each conversation reminds them of the distance life has built between them. As the summer ends, so does the fragile world they created together. What remains is bittersweet, a reminder that some of the most powerful loves are those we're not allowed to keep. In Esteros, the heat of first love burns again, but like summer, it can never last forever. Sauvage/wild.
Ça fait combien de temps que vous vous prostituez?
Un certain temps.
Mais vous avez pas envie d'autre chose?
Pourquoi j'aurais envie d'autre chose?
Leo, a 22-year-old sex worker in Strasbourg, wanders the streets searching for clients and connection. His life is raw, unfiltered, and consumed by his body's transactions. He longs for affection, even when it comes in fleeting or destructive forms. His days bleed together in a cycle of passion, danger, and crushing loneliness. While others see him as disposable, Leo clings to any scrap of tenderness, even if it means sacrificing his health and safety. His wildness makes him magnetic, yet it also leaves him adrift with no anchor. As his body weakens and his soul grows desperate, he faces the question of whether he can break free, or if he's destined to self-destruct. In the end, Sauvage doesn't just ask what we'd do for love. It asks if love can save someone who refuses to be tamed. Freefall.
Bist du bescheuert?
Mark, a married police officer and expectant father, enters police training where he meets Kay, a confident fellow recruit. Their attraction is immediate and undeniable, sparking a secret affair that quickly escalates. Mark finds himself torn between his responsibilities at home and the intoxicating connection he feels with Kay. His wife senses something is wrong, his colleagues grow suspicious, and the pressure to maintain both lives becomes unbearable. Each encounter with Kay pulls Mark deeper into desire, but each lie he tells drives him further from the family he's sworn to protect. As the tension explodes, Mark is forced to face the consequences of living in denial. The title says it all. Once he steps off the edge, there's no going back. In the end, Mark learns the hardest truth of all. Sometimes love doesn't save you, it destroys you. Law of Desire.
He visto todas tus películas varias veces. El paradigma de mejillón la he visto hoy ya 3 veces. A las 4, a las 7 y a las 11.
Pablo, a successful filmmaker, begins a passionate affair with Antonio, a younger man driven by obsession. At first, their relationship feels intoxicating, but Antonio's possessiveness soon spirals into dangerous territory. When Pablo's former lover resurfaces, the triangle of jealousy and lust pushes Antonio toward extremes. Betrayal leads to violence, and desire turns into obsession that can no longer be controlled. Pablo is caught between the thrill of passion and the terror of losing everything he values. As events unravel, he realizes that in the law of desire, love is less about tenderness and more about power. The story builds to a devastating climax where lust and jealousy leave scars no one can escape. By the end, one truth remains clear. Passion might begin with pleasure, but it can just as easily end in blood. Keep the lights on.
You're my best friend. I admire you and I think you're brilliant. You are sweet and...
Eric, a filmmaker in New York, meets Paul, a closeted lawyer battling drug addiction. What begins as a thrilling, magnetic romance quickly turns into years of passion, heartbreak, and constant cycles of separation and reunion. Their relationship burns with intensity. Every time they fall apart, they're drawn back together, unable to resist the pull. Eric clings to hope, believing their love can outlast Paul's struggles, but each relapse erodes the foundation further. The highs are electric, the lows devastating, and the passion so consuming it becomes destructive. By the end, Eric realizes love alone cannot save Paul, no matter how bright their desire burns. Their story closes on a heartbreaking truth. Sometimes, no matter how hard you fight, you can't keep the lights on forever. Passion can light up the darkest nights, but it can't stop the dawn of reality. Firebird. Set in Soviet era, Estonia during the Cold War, Firebird tells the forbidden love story of Sergei, a young soldier, and Roman, a dashing fighter pilot. Their connection begins with stolen glances, then flourishes in secret moments filled with longing and risk. With military surveillance lurking at every corner, the two men know discovery could mean prison, or worse. Despite the dangers, their love intensifies, fueled by the knowledge that every kiss could be their last. When their secret inevitably comes under threat, both must choose between duty to their country and loyalty to their hearts. Their passion is like the mythical Firebird, bright, untamed, and impossible to cage. But just like the legend, it comes at a devastating price. In the end, love burns beautifully, but in a world of rigid control, even the brightest flame is destined to be extinguished. All of us strangers.
Hello.
Hey,
Saw you looking at me from the street.
Adam, a lonely screenwriter, drifts through life until he meets Harry, a mysterious neighbor whose charm instantly pulls him in. Their romance begins tenderly, filled with intimacy that feels like a lifeline. At the same time, Adam reconnects with visions of his long-dead parents, who inexplicably appear alive. offering conversations he never got to have. Caught between the warmth of new love and the haunting presence of the past, Adam finds himself losing grip on reality. Harry seems perfect, yet something about him doesn't quite add up. As Adam's worlds collapse together, the line between love and illusion fades. Is Harry truly the salvation Adam craves, or just another ghost in a life already haunted? The deeper Adam falls, the harder it is to tell if love is healing him, or if it's just another dream slipping through his hands. Red, white, and royal blue.
You've gotta be joking.
You can hate Prince Henry all you want.
My NDA is bigger than yours, I want you to know that. You're wearing lifts. Know that too, sweetheart.
When Alex, the first son of the United States, clashes with Prince Henry of Britain, their rivalry is headline news. But behind the stage smiles and political duties, their animosity hides undeniable attraction. What begins as a truce evolves into stolen texts, secret meetings, and a romance that crosses continents. Every encounter is a gamble, risking scandal that could topple governments and shake two nations. Yet as their relationship deepens, the fear of exposure becomes less powerful than the love they share. Both men must face the ultimate question. Will they sacrifice their happiness for tradition, or embrace each other in full view of the world? The answer turns their secret into a declaration, because sometimes the most radical act isn't rebellion. It's simply loving openly, no matter the cost. And when they finally choose, the whole world is watching. God's own country.
Georgie or something.
Georgie.
Whatever, get in.
Lab needs help.
Johnny, a young Yorkshire farmer, numbs his loneliness with alcohol and casual hookups. His days are filled with hard labor and silence until Georg, a Romanian worker, arrives to help during lambing season. At first, Johnny treats him with coldness, but in the isolation of the fields, desire breaks through. Their encounters are rough, raw, and explosive, but slowly evolve into a tenderness Johnny has never known. Georga teaches him care, patience, and the possibility of a future beyond bitterness. As the season ends, Johnny faces the crushing realization that he could lose Georga forever. For the first time, he feels the weight of what love could mean and what its absence could destroy. In the bleak, windswept hills, their romance becomes a fire against the cold. But when the work ends, the question remains, can Johnny fight to keep it? Happy together.
你是我这边唯一的朋友啊，留个纪念吧。我不喜欢拍照。
Lion Ho, two lovers from Hong Kong, escape to Argentina hoping for a fresh start. Instead, they fall back into the same cycle of passion and destruction. They break up, reunite, and break apart again, each time with more wounds than before. Their intimacy is fierce, their fights explosive, and their longing undeniable. The dance between love and hate consumes them, pulling them into an endless loop. Both dream of happiness, but neither can escape the chaos they create together. Argentina becomes their backdrop, but no distance can heal their fractures. As their time together unravels, one truth becomes inescapable. Some loves are too volatile to last. Their story ends not with peace, but with heartbreak that feels inevitable. In the end, they prove the title ironic. Their journey shows that sometimes even the deepest love leaves you anything but happy. Weekend.
Have you got a boyfriend?
No, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't do boyfriends. Well, you know what it's like when you first sleep with someone you don't know. You like the blank canvas. It gives you an opportunity to project onto that canvas who you want to be.
Russell meets Glenn one Friday night in a bar, expecting nothing more than a casual hookup. What follows instead is a weekend of passion, intimacy, and raw honesty. In just 48 hours, the two men share secrets, dreams, and vulnerabilities usually hidden for years. Their time together is both fleeting and unforgettable, marked by laughter, tenderness, and the urgency of knowing it will soon end. Russell, shy and cautious, is drawn out by Glenn's boldness, while Glenn finds comfort in Russell's quiet sincerity. As Monday approaches, the weight of reality sets in. Glenn is leaving the country, and their connection will become a memory. But those 2 days leave an indelible mark, proving that sometimes the most powerful relationships are the briefest. In Weekend, love doesn't promise forever. It promises intensity that lingers long after goodbye. Stranger by the Lake.
Vous êtes un habitué, vous? Oui.
Frank spends his summer at a secluded lakeside spot known for gay cruising. There, he meets Michelle, a charismatic and magnetic man whose allure is undeniable. Their connection is immediate, but Frank soon discovers a chilling secret. Michelle is a murderer. Despite witnessing the crime, Frank can't resist him. The danger only heightens the intensity of their encounters, making each moment more reckless. As Frank plunges deeper into obsession, he ignores the warnings, choosing passion over safety. The idyllic lake becomes a setting for both ecstasy and dread, where every kiss feels like it could be the last. The tension builds to a chilling climax as Frank realizes his life may be at risk. In this world, desire and death swim side by side. Loving Michelle means embracing danger itself, and Frank is willing to drown for it. 120 beats per minute. In early 1990s, Paris, the activist group ACTUP fights tirelessly for visibility and justice during the AIDS crisis. Amid protests and political battles, 2 men, Sean, passionate and outspoken, and Nathan, more reserved, find each other. Their romance grows out of urgency, each touch and kiss charged with the knowledge that time is running out. Together, they experience moments of pure joy alongside the unrelenting reality of illness. Their love story is both intensely personal and deeply tied to a movement larger than themselves. As Sean's health deteriorates, Nathan becomes his anchor, holding on even as the inevitable approaches. The beat of their hearts echoes the chants of protest, fast, desperate, and unyielding. But when the rhythm finally slows, Nathan is left with silence. 120 beats per minute shows that love can burn brighter than fear, but it cannot stop the clock. Call Me By Your Name.
Professor Pearl, madame. Thank you so much.
Très confiant, hein?
In the summer of 1983, Elio, a gifted 17-year-old in Italy, meets Oliver, an American student staying with his family. What starts with small gestures and shy glances slowly blossoms into a powerful romance. Their days are filled with swimming, cycling, and long talks that deepen their connection. At night, the unspoken longing finally turns into passion. Though their love is brief, it changes them forever, turning one summer into something unforgettable. But as the season ends, Oliver must return home, leaving Elio behind. The heartbreak that follows is as deep as the joy they once shared. The story closes with Elio's silent grief by the fire, carrying the memory of their love. The hottest flames may not last long, but they leave behind a burn that never fades. And those are the top 20 hottest gay movies to stream in 2025. Which one left the strongest mark on you? Let us know in the comments, and until next time, keep watching boldly.